Right, now I'm going to develop my rhythm piece to add some more parts and to fill out my full 16 bars. So I've begun with my first four bar section. So far, we've got a hi-hat kind of idea up here. We've got more of a kind of low tom here, and we're going to fill out two more here. Now, to make that a bit more clear, because we've got just 4 different drums here, I'm going to edit these names. Now we've set drum 1, I'm going to change this name to hi-hat. So it's like a hi-hat symbol, so it's a bit clearer. For drum 2, I'm going to call it low tom. And we're going to now look at drum 3. So, I'm going to now input some more notes. We could have a kind of kick drum, different cymbal. We've got that. A snare would maybe make a lot of sense to have. Or a kind of side drum. And more cymbals. So I think I'm going to go for a snare. So I'm going to begin with one beat note like that. And I think what I might do is just gradually build this up. So I'm going to have quite a simple rhythm to start with, like this. And every time I'm going to develop it slightly. Command C, Command V. Command C, Command V. So let's put this all together. Let's see how it sounds. Okay, so just to make this a bit clearer that this is the end of our four bars, I am going to add in a double bar line here. Not a final bar line like this to symbolize the end of the piece, just a double bar line like that. So you can now see that separating each bar is a one line, a single line, whereas the end of our 4 bars, we've got a double bar line. So we've just been through all the different tracks there. Drum 3, we're now going to call snare. And for drum 4, some of these side drums, so we could go for that. Or we'll go for that. Okay, so we've generally started each track, each instrument part on beat 1 of the bar. For this one, I'm not going to play on beat 1. I'm going to play coming in on beat 2. So select that, press delete. And I'm going to go for 2 quavers there. For here again, I'm going to have a rest. Play that back now and see how it sounds. I like that, so I'm going to press Command, press stop, and then select this bar. Command C, Command V. This time I'm going to turn this into being 2 quavers. And copy this. Then maybe what I might do is actually then delete some notes again. So delete that. Command C, Command V, and then delete that. Now, this is the first time we've introduced this rest, meaning a quaver rest. So this is going to become a lot more of an offbeat syncopated rhythm. Okay, so that's our first rhythm. This first 4 bars done. Now, how are we going to change it up for the next 5 bars? Next 4 bars, starting above 5. What we could always do is take one of these rhythms that's in one part, like the hi-hat, and actually change it to being in a different part. For instance, we could copy that, and maybe for this time, we'll put it in the low tom. So the transition sounds like this. But as you'll see, we haven't actually moved the notes down. We're still on that top note there. So we've got to move that rhythm down, select the bar, like that, and then you can just press on the down arrow, make sure you go to the right note. There we go. There we go. Maybe what we might want to do now is actually have one big rhythm with everyone playing the same thing, and create maybe like a musical question and answer known as call and response. Something like this. Now again, I haven't moved up the notes properly, so make sure you select the bar, move up each one to the right pitch. So this one goes there, and the top one goes all the way to there. So now played together sounds like this. I want to have a little interesting rhythm being played by each different drum now this time. So for this bar, I'm going to start off with the hi-hat, and this is going to be more of a complex rhythm. So first of all, click a note, go for duration, start with an 8th note, but for this one, I'm going to go even shorter. Then I'm going to have everything come back in again. So select all, then press Command C, Command V. Make sure you select all the bars you want it to go to. Command V, there we go. Right, so let's listen to this section so far. Now in this bar I'm going to do a rhythm on a different instrument, maybe the snare drum here. So what you could do to create a bit of continuity, you could select the bar that we've done before, press Command C, copy to here, bring down to the right pitch, and then we might want to change it up a bit more. So I'm going, for this time, I'm going to keep the beginning the same, but I'm going to change the end. Deleting that note there. Let's listen back to that. Okay, so that brings again the end to our second 4-bar section. So again, I'm going to now add in a bar line, a double bar line here, and it's going to now bring us on to the next 4 bars. Now we've done kind of 1 bar solo section for these 2 tracks. We might want to do one for the other 2. So that's the side drum and the low floor tom. Maybe we'll change this rhythm slightly now for the unifying rhythm. So we can pick one of these other ones, that's the same as that. Maybe we'll take this one this time. And we will go down here, select that there, take it up to the right pitch. This one is, I think, on that note. No, pick the wrong pitch there. This goes down to there. This goes up to there. I think this one goes to there. Okay. So transitioning there will sound like this. Now we're going to have the floor tom creating a rhythm in this bar. Now we're going to introduce a dotted rhythm. So if you click that, that's going to then add in the 1 beat, and that then adds an extra half the measure. So instead of it being 1 beat note, it's 1.5. And let's see how that sounds. I like that. So again, we're going to bring back in these 4 lines, copy them in. That's it. Command C. Command V. And then the last track to do 1 bar will be this side drum. So that will be this track at the bottom. So I'm going to go for a short rhythm like that, adding in the dotted rhythm again. Command C. Make that a 1 beat note. Click that by accident, so press Command Z. Command Z again. There we go. 1 beat note, and then for the last beat, I'm going to do that. Okay, so that was our first 4 bars there. This is our second 4 bars, and this is our last 4 bars coming up here. And as you'll see, we've got 1 extra bar because I added in one bar too many. So we can just click on the bar and we can press take away. Alright, so let's listen to the piece so far, and then we're going to decide what we want to do for the last 4 bars. so I think what would be good is to maybe bring back our original idea and then work towards a climax to the end of the piece. This is our original rhythms that we heard at the beginning. If we then reintroduce them back again at the end of the piece, it's going to keep those rhythms in the listener's mind. So I'm going to press Command C. Select the bars we want, Command V. There we go. So let's lead into those last 4 bars and see if it makes sense. Right, to make it sound a bit more final, I'm going to change a few of these notes right at the end. So they're all going to come together for one big note at the end. So I'm going to put that one in there. Change that to a 1-beat rest. There we go. Change that to 1-beat as well. Okay, so you'll see we've added in a bar we don't need. There we go. Alright. So the last 4 bars sound like this. Now, what we can do to make the piece sound even more final at the end there is add in some of these dynamics marks. So we haven't added in any dynamics yet. What we might want to do is create a crescendo here. So we can then bring it through like that. Try and keep it straight because it's easy for these to get wonky. You can see we've actually added in 2 by accident there, so we're going to move that one down to a different line. It's now made this space too big, so we're going to just delete that. And then we're going to add in another crescendo starting here. There it is. So click on the end of it and you'll be able to drag it to make it bigger. And there we go, all the way to the last note. Got it there, yeah. And last one for this section. You might want to make your crescendo a lot shorter than this, because this is a really long crescendo over 4 bars. You might also then want to add end by putting accents on this as well. We could do an expression text here, so we could go FF like this. So the player then knows how loud to play at the end. Dynamics again. All right, let's listen back to these 4 bars now so far. Okay, so it's starting to look a bit better there. There's lots of other parts in here that we can pick out a bit more. So let's, for instance, select this first note and look at the different options. Under articulation, we might want to give that an accent. Maybe some of these notes we might want to make staccato. So if you click off this window, you'll now see that we've got that accent on there. Let's try putting a staccato in here. And listen back and see if we can hear that. Sounds like there was a bit more of an accent there, but you can add more and more of these to make your piece a bit more, have a bit more life and create a stronger composition. So let's listen back to the piece so far. Alright, so that's our piece so far. It's not finished. I still need to add in some more dynamic marks, some more articulation to make the piece as good as I can make it. But so far, this is the place we've got our piece to. 4 different sections of 4 with a double bar line at the end of each 4 bar section to make it a bit more clear.